kick off the show. People, welcome. We are back, and it's hard to believe that we've been gone for about 5 days without live streaming. But you know, it is like an addiction. You know, I gotta do this, and basically, I hope you also missed us. In a way, in a certain sense, we have a lot of things to dissect today. 1958 has spoken, and we're going to talk about that. We have a scintillating panel waiting, as per usual, no bullshit, United as what it is. And what else? Yes, definitely going to talk about the new rules. As football is evolving, the game is changing, and so is the rules. So we're going to dissect what that's meaning for this season, people. But you know, before we continue, before I bring in the guest, you know what I'm about to do for you to do. You know, you see this is my thing, you see. You know, you see those buttons down on your screen there. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. We are on the road for 16,000 Ks, people. We are 15.9 at the moment, so about 100 souls more. And also, please like, because we are about to get ready to rumble. Are you ready to do this? Here we go.
Now, for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world
on Mufc Realist TV.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Mandalay Bay, Las Vegas, let's get ready to rumble!
Let's get ready to rumble! Just joking. I'm all alone here, being hijacked. Look who is back.
Hello, everybody. I don't know if you can hear me, but there's something wrong with Mick's sound. It sounds like you're on an echo, Mick, that you're talking in the background.
Really? Hang on a second. What's going on?
Echo.
Oh.
Now it's better?
Yes, sir.
Much better, sir. Suits you, sir. Ooh,
Because it is the setting sometimes that StreamYard does. You know, you have my camera, Logitech camera, it has a microphone, and by logic, you should pick up my phone here, which is a super HyperX phone. But, you know, glad that you pointed out, but glad that you're back, Jarvis. How you been, man? How you, man?
Hey, I'm doing good. It's good to be back in Norway. Finally, my own little studio here with everybody, and the kids are on the door screaming because they want more Minecraft. So that's the way it is. Sorry for the disturbance.
It's good to see you back in your normal environment. We missed that wall. We've seen everything, like, you know, from your travels. We've seen the sports washing, money laundering. You know, we've seen it all. We've seen the bloopers, like, you know. We're not going to talk about it, but everyone that's been following our podcast, you have seen the Jarvis Hugh Hefner story.
Yes, sir.
But he's back. I don't know what Andy's doing. He's moving around like a madman. But anyway, Uncle Jimmy is going to join us as well.
In the Charger.
Oh, yeah. Andy, it's been a hot minute. How you doing, mate? You all right? You all right?
I'm okay, mate. I'm okay, yeah. Been chilling. My dad's got his season ticket now. Thank God for that. That's 50 years of loyalty. Then they shit on him, Man United. Then they give it him back after I emailed them with the help of the Stretford Paddock. So Man United's got his season ticket back. So happy days ahead. Nice to hopefully a better season and with new owners as well.
Oh, well, there you go, man. There you go. Happy to hear that everything is sorted. Everything is pointing towards the right direction, Jarvis, as well. I mean, welcome back to Norway. Welcome back to civilization. How was your journey? How was your trip? You're looking a little bit tanned.
I'm tanned, but, you know, I'm extremely jet lagged. The whole family got up at 3 o'clock yesterday. So, you know, everything is just like... But it's getting better now. Today I woke up 12 o'clock. So... yeah, maybe tomorrow I'll wake up 11.
Oh, here we go. Yo. And exciting news, people. Rasmus Hojlund is now officially Manchester United player. After completing his medical, he signed the paperwork, the contract. Now, Erik ten Hag can finally talk about him in the media as well. And that was confirmed a couple of hours ago by the brilliant tweet of Mick and Fabrizio Romano. So here we sprint. You know what I mean? Bada bing. So all we're waiting for is to see that, launch, the media launch, like in him and his kid and the sexy man. You know what I mean? So now we're moving forward, guys. How do you feel about that signing, by the way?
Yeah, Andy. And they can go first.
I feel quite happy and positive about it. I mean, we were chasing him for that long. We were quoted absolute stupid prices at first, wasn't it? They wanted 90 million, 95, 85, absolute crazy. And English media was more on the Italian side with leaks and they know more than English media, so it had more traction on the Italian side of the media than the English side. And the English media only caught onto it when we were on the brink of securing the transfer. So you say English media will play anything against Man United and to like play off the fans in England and around the world.
I'm just appalled, to be honest. Like, as soon as we signed him, you saw the pundits and everyone, same when we signed Lisandro Martinez, they have to find something like, and rivalry fans as well, comparing him to Hojlund and stuff like that. And it's like, sit down. But in a positive way, guys, if they're talking about him like that, they are freaking scared, to be honest, because this kid is amazing, right? 19 starts, 9 goals in a 3/4 of a season, He's going to be cooking. But again, Jarvis, this is what I've been saying. It looks like we recruited in the voodoo doctor from Arsenal, the magical man, right? So he's going to work on Martial's hamstrings, and it looks like Martial will be playing second fiddle. He's going to get massages every day and hampering and tell him, stroke his ego. You're good, Anthony. You're good.
Wait a little bit. I heard this story before.
Have you?
Yes.
I don't know.
I have no faith in Martial keeping himself injury-free, to be honest. He will be injured at least 15 to 25 games this season. It's just the way it is. His body can't handle it. I feel sad for him, being a professional at that level. He's got the talent, he's got the physicality, everything is right for him. But his body can't handle it. It's just the way it is. It has to be extremely frustrating. I feel for him, yes, but club over player for me. So this window we should have sold him, to be honest.
Yeah, but in a way, like, if you can keep him on the bench, more experienced while he's getting his treatment, give him a couple games here and there, that's not bad, right?
As long as he's available, but that's a problem. Yeah. He's never available. So I don't trust him. I think if we trust and trust of Martial this season, we will play with only one striker. That will be the problem. And
or two. Depends on Greenwood's situation as well. That's the thing.
Yeah. Hand grenade waiting to go off. There's 2 hand grenades. That is one, and the other one's the ownership. But let's say,
that's 2 hand grenades. 100%. Who's gonna pull the first the splint? Which splint is gonna go first?
Yeah.
Listen, guys, we forgot about something. Are we totally alone in this room, or have we forgot? Are we a little bit rusty? What are we missing, Jarvis?
We're missing the VAR room. Where are you guys?
Oh, they are right there. we totally forgot. We're just chatting away. So per tradition, what we have to do is to read out everyone that's been waiting for the appearance, and for us to return back. Andy, Jarvis as well. You all been on holidays. Hope you had a great holiday. I understand that, Andy, you went to Wales or something like that.
Yeah, I went to Cardiff to see some sights in Cardiff, saw the castle, the Millennium Stadium, the Principal Stadium, where United won the League Cup, FA Cup, beat Millwall and all that, and said some goodbyes to some family members. I never got to go to a funeral about 10 years ago, so that was my way of saying goodbye with family. So wanted to go back to the area where my relative grew up and just say goodbye and see one last time. Nothing changes, man. It's the same place, same buildings, and they've been, like say, it's on my girlfriend's side. They've been there for the best part of 80 years. Nothing. It's a small part of Wales.
Same buildings, and they've been, like say, it's on my girlfriend.
Yeah. Echo.
I don't know what's going on. We have some kind of echo. I tried to figure it out. Sorry for everybody. We will try to mute our mics when we can. Mick, you're on mute.
Oh, really? What a client. That proves that we are rusty people. We are rusty. That's what you get for being off the stream.
Gremlins.
But
the Glazers are in the system. It's the Glazer gremlins. That's what it is.
God. Oh God!
If you
Listen,
guys,
guys.
If you add water to the Glazers, they multiply into money. That's all they are. They feast on food and money. That's what they are. The Glazers are. They multiply with water.
Well, somebody that's feasting as well is Jarle, basically, who is back for more. Usually Jarle with his pepperoni pizza says, new FA rules. Yep, there's something, my friend, Mr. Klopp. Yeah, we're going to talk about that one later. Stephanie Griffin is back also from one of our moderators. Big up, Stephanie. Good evening, good evening. Edward Reed is saying, the takeover news saying the Glazers put it on hold. More BS in the media. Yeah, we're going to talk about that as well.
Yeah.
Don't you worry, because I'm back. We are back, baby, what John Johnson is saying. Did you miss us? John, we missed you too. Stella is also in the VR. I'm saying Glazers back with Mike Keegan PR after the same price drop. Dude, Mike Keegan has been flip-flopping like, I don't know. Today he dropped 2 stories and then he's back. Listen, forget about them. You know who they are. They're just writing bullshit, right? There has nothing else to write and they have to recreate, let's just print with it. Like, we're going to talk about that story as well because I refuse to do a video about it. So we have a fucking super chat. Sorry for saying woohoo from Siegfried van Kouter. Siegfried, how you doing, my friend? Thank you so much for your super chat. Evening, guys. Follow the shows for 14 Grays. Great shows with good views on Manchester United. Keep it up. Keep it ongoing, boys. Thank you so much, Siegfried. You know what you do, basically. I threw away my because that got deflated. But Siegfried, anyone that's donating a chat, the purpose of you sponsoring us makes a lot of difference because we are monetized, but we're not making money out of it. That's the thing. That's the honest truth. We're not like 100 million subscribers like a certain channels. So anything that we get goes to camera equipments. Hopefully I can start paying off these guys soon as well for making appearances. Like, we're talking about Tate, we're talking about Jarvis, but we're getting there, people. We are getting there because together.
Snickers, dude.
What?
You pay me in Snickers.
Okay, Snickers and bananas. Go peace, love, and bananas. So thank you, people.
Banana milkshake. I can do banana milkshake. You throw that my way. I'm good as I'm here.
Yeah, but then we need more super chats like Siegfried. But thank you so much for your donation. You know what? There's even super likes if you appreciate it. You can even join his membership. So I just want to be transparent in how much it means whenever you super chatting or becoming a member. That's really, really important because it's so much hard work that goes into this. This is our church, people. This is where we come to heal our hurts. So thank you, Siegfried. 100%. I lost my train of thought there. Where was I? So got a little bit thrown away. Like, RJ is also in the house. Charlie, MFC, the Glazers, sucks. Stephen, well, she's also in the house. Stella. You mentioned Stella, like, listen, we got to kick off the show. Stella is a good beer. Alien Tenno is back in the house. Hello, all. Hello, Alien. Did you miss us, Peter? Of course, we missed you too. Jamie Vane is back. One of the moderators, by the way, Hojlund. It off done deal signed the contract today, even before Mick posted it. The vid today. The voice note. Yes, true. I did voice note everyone in the community. So guys, if you want to join the Telegram community, this is where the action happens. This is where we share the information. There is a link how to join the Telegram. If you look in the description below, just click on it, download Telegram, and off you go. It's so much better than WhatsApp. So good. And the most of this community is in there, like, chatting away as well.
You have to send me a link again because I lost it so I can join.
All right, well, I will definitely say. Glazer Stars says Satwan Singh, 100%. Greasy Glazers are red out. Yes, pepperoni pizza ready in 5 minutes since John morning. Yeah, we have an appetite. But I just eaten like a cordon bleu, Who else? I want to shout out to people that I missed as well. Carlos is back for more as well. Hi, everyone. I hope everything is well. Everything is fantastic. Look at this. Yes.
I have a
Yes.
question to Jarle Malmin. Is it frozen pizza or do you make the pizza yourself? Because is it grandiosa or big one, or what kind of pizza are you eating?
True.
This is not a cooking show.
Well, I also I'm a big fan of pizza. You know, I love.
Yeah,
pizza.
same here.
Yeah.
I never
You
had
don't know
pizza
pizza.
until I was 18. I did not like pizza as a kid. How weird's that? And your taste buds change when you get older.
Yeah, 100%. We got to talk about Mike Keegan and Jamie Jackson. They're both clowns. Did I say that? I didn't mean to disrespect any journalist, but I'm just fed up on it. That's why I've been silent. Like, you know.
You know what I mean?
Jarle said I made the pizza myself. Thank you for clarifying, Jarle.
Lisa Jensen is also the Danish Dynamite is back in the house as well. Listen, Lisa, congratulations again for signing another Danish to Manchester United. Big up to you, and hope you are doing fine with you and your family. Who else? Audio is a bit distant, is it? Is it still distant? Hello.
Well, it's an echo when Andy speaks. Maybe it's an echo when I also speak, but I think it's your mic. Do you have something on in the background, Mick?
Something to do with StreamYard, maybe, because I've seen other channels when they broadcast, they have the same problems. You know what I mean? It's something to do with StreamYard.
No, my right microphone, my microphone is connected to the settings. Hang on a second. I don't want to screw this up. Let's see. Hello. Better?
Yeah, it's no echo when you speak. It's echo when Andy speaks.
Okay, now it's better, right? Now it's more clearer, higher volume. I do apologize, my dear friends. It looks like somebody's been trolling with my microphone. I hate when that happens. Don't touch my. My wife is sometimes coming in, and yeah, you know, I don't like when people touch my stuff. You know what? So I hope the audio is better. Link, say something in the comment if the audio is good. Luan France from all the way from Toronto, was it? Hello, been a while. Hope everyone is doing well. We're doing smashing. Thank you for asking.
Luan France. That's a nice name. Luan France.
Yep.
Sounds like a movie star.
Yep. This problem with your Audi. I don't have an Audi. I have a Prius. Toyota. Okay, Mick not sound good. Okay, guys, let me know if the sound is good now. To see. Yes. George Best is good. Audio is now great. It's fixed. Big up Mick and Jarvis says, Sheikh Iran. Yes. Anyone? Simon Heron is also. Jeff Steele is here. Everyone is here.
Ariane.
Yay. Everyone is here. All the regulars. So let's just do this, people. Let's kick on the show, right? Before we continue, just big up to all of you. You know, DW the Digital, one of our superstars of the members. He is a first-team player. You missed us. I missed you too. And thank you. Glazes out. So what's going on here? Yes, Mick, you wrote something to me. Yes, Mick is good. Mick is fantastic. Listen, guys, me and Andy had a chat. I've been a little bit busy today. I've been a little bit off, but still had some tabs on what's going on the transfer market because that's my line of work, of course. But Andy, you said something very, very interesting. So we just start before we continue with the FA rules, because you were listening to 1958, big up to 1958, and you said there was some mind-boggling stuff that came out. Like, can you share us what was said?
Yeah, I can share what I listened to. I listened to it in the last hour or so. There was I think they're still broadcasting now. It was like a podcast on Twitter, and they let some let's say relevations, whatever you want to call it, that they were approached by the club about the protests, and they said, we want to work with you. And the 1958 said, you're going to help us get rid of the Glazers? And I went, no. We want to know what your demonstrations are going to be, what your protests are going to be like. And basically, they wanted to control and try to clamp down on the 1958. And the 1958 told them where to go, told them to jog on, which was really good. So if think back to the semi-final against Brighton. Bruno Fernandes had a free kick, scuffs it over the wall, live on the BBC. Big Glazers out banner behind the goal. Malcolm Glazer on the club hated it because that went worldwide. That was worldwide broadcast to the world. And I say there was pictures of stills, there was tweets. 58 put it out there. It was shared all around the world on social media. So Man United, like you say, fans have a right to protest. That's fine because Richard Arnold said it. He even stated it. We are your consumers. We are your customers. So come the FA Cup final and games proceeding up to the end of the season, Man United fans can protest. But behind the scenes, it was like North Korea with Kim Min-jae, who were instructing stewards at the cup final to confiscate people and their flags, eject them, not letting them get in. There's videos going around as well of, let's say, the confiscating at the cup final, taking the flags, pushing people away. And Wembley security was under strict instructions from anonymous people who we know who they are anyway to stop the bans, and they were under severe instructions from the Glazers and people to stop the banners being shown at the FA Cup final. And you noticed how they tried to bribe anybody with the hats. It was all a sea of red and this, that, the other. Some flags got in, but they were at the top of the stand, so the TV couldn't see. So they wanted to neutralise the flags and any protest on the, like say, pitch level side, first bottom tier. It goes up to the second tier, doesn't it? They wanted to neutralise all that. And somebody tipped them off. They were tipped off by somebody. Don't know who. That's what they were saying on the 58. The 58 said they were tipped off by somebody. And the club acted on it. And, it was a successful raid on their end. It was a successful operation, which, as you say, freedom of speech is, they say this is what this country is about, England. And basically, we were hurting them financially and we were getting through. And they got away with it at the cup final. And now, like you say, protests have been arranged again in the last 24 hours. They're getting announced tonight. I'll have to have a re-listen to it. The 58 are having plans protest. They tweeted, was it 24 hours ago, we're going to be protesting at Nottingham Forest. Wolves and Nottingham Forest games, there's going to be protests. 24 hours, they come out, because they're going to protest because of the sale's been stalled. It's all gone quiet. Like you say, it's quiet. Nothing's happening. The Glazers have, let's say, dropped the bids. They're taking the club off the market. Miraculously, Mike Keegan comes out with this 24 hours later. Oh, no. It's, what you call it? Oh, no. We're still in the process. Pete, and he say they're trying to blame Qatar. Qatar are very confident. So they had a PR. They got the knickers in a twist. And they come out with Mike Keegan. It's about control. It's about buying time. It's about, like you say, there's two hand grenades ready to go off. Now you wonder with Mason that hand grenade, and you put in the sale. That's your second hand grenade. Plus Hojlund signing. It's about, they say, how do you combine that into a positive thing? You say you kill two birds with one stone. You know what I mean? You try to use the goodness. What do you release first? You release Hojlund, or you buy time. Something's coming on the horizon, and they're trying to buy. They're trying to buy time. They're trying to buy time, and there's going to be a big decision. It's going to go good or bad come the end of August. So, are we going to sign somebody? Are they going to stay? They're trying to quell the rise in the anger, and this is what. Behind the scenes, they're a little bit concerned about what's going to come the first couple of home games. And I say, I hope them hand grenades go off big time. And it won't surprise me if the Mason Greenwood interview, if they come out, it's like Meghan Markle and Harry with Oprah Winfrey. You know what I mean? Man United will want to control it. So there's potential hand grenades going to go off with the sale, with Mason Greenwood. And it's the only little bit of positivity they've got is Hojlund. He's signed, he's sealed, delivered. And may say, no, Man United fans are wising up to it now. Conference call. One conference call after the Super League protests. We got Liverpool game cancelled. They raided into the ground. That went worldwide. And who was the last team to crumble? Who was the last person to resign from the Super League? It was Man United. And Mr. Glazer, was it Brian or Joe? Well, like they say, Glazeronomics, Little Gimps. They come out and had a video conference. One video conference since that's happened. They're just stalling for time. They've not talked to the fans again since. They released that statement last year. We're looking at all options, sales, investment. They're trying to just buy time. We have Old Trafford's getting rained on again. Manchester, they say 𝒖𝒄𝒌 𝑹𝒖𝒃𝒚, but it's still going to be leaking this season. So they say hand grenades are coming.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you, but it's always an echo, so I have to put you on mute. Sorry, Mick.
Okay. Now, what does the... I don't know why I have echo. For me, I don't hear any echo, but I am absolutely fuming, to be honest. And what does this tell you? What just Andy said. They want to control the PR, everything that's been writing. It's like the freedom of speech. So I know this for fact, but super chat for John O'Neill. Thank you so much for your donation, mate. Like, the 9058 knocking fan cams at the end of the space.
What does that even mean? I don't know what that means.
Fan cams, meaning they don't like fan cams. Well, they actually reached out to us when it was the protest last time to collaborate with fan cams. Some people don't like fan cams, 100%. We are not a fan cam. We're a community channel, and we are here collaborating with the United Against the Glazers in 1958. So 100%, yes. Glazers out, green and gold until we're sold. But here's my take on it, guys. And this is just a proof of evidence that some journalists are getting the bread and butter, the gravy train from some club officials, right? That's their sources, people. That is their sources. And some of the club officials they're not part of the gravy train of what's going on with the sales process. There's certain people within the Manchester United PLC that has information that signed the NDA. They're working close with the Glazers and the Rain Group and who else did I miss the train? Yeah. So they know what's going on. And one of them is Erik ten Hag. He knows. He knows what's going on, right?
Yes.
But the remaining of the journalists...
It's the same thing.
Can I finish my point?
Go on.
Yeah, okay. Add on.
No, I'm just saying you can carry on. But I say the same equation. In the workplace, in normal life, it's like little cliques. There's that few little people,
cliques.
who little cliques who get all what they need and all the information, and they're all friends. Yeah. So that's what I'm trying to get across, mate.
Yeah, no, you lead me on to the path of saying that these cliques have been there for years. These cliques have been fed this information for years, and this is the bread and butter. This is the reason why they're called journalists and generate stories. That's the thing. If that all of a sudden been swept under the carpet, let's say when a Sheikh Yassim comes in, for instance, they're going to restructure everything. So these people are going to disappear. That means that their business will also disappear. So they're milking this gravy train as much as they can. Just open up your eyes and see. That's what's happening. And just to demonstrate you, during the past 24 hours, there's certain Keegan that's been tweeting, I don't know, make up your mind, mate, because you are totally off the wagon, mate. There remains confidence among some close to Sheikh Yassim bid that they will win the race to buy Manchester United. Earlier, you tweeted that, something like this, like, those close to the sellers of Manchester United insist that Sheikh Yassim is behind the delays in the sales process. Ben Jacobs, yesterday they were tweeting about it's on pause from iPaper, right? The only person that is in pause in this case, use your mind. Who is in pause, guys? I want to hear it from you. They didn't say that there was one in pause. Everything was in pause. There was one bidder that was in pause, right? And now all of a sudden, after all this, the tweeting and changing the wind. So what does it tell you? They are getting paid by the PR machines to spread this propaganda. I'm not here to tell you that is the so. I know how it works. That's the thing. As an agent in the intermediate market, I use the press all the time to, like, you know, it's a catch-22 situation. But we all know that the club is already done and dusted. They're not going to stay. The Adidas kit is not going to affect. The Adidas kit is until kicking in the extension until 2025. Do you know what I mean? That's not guaranteed revenue because the contract is still here. But 2025, that is the extension when it starts the new contract. So what these people are trying to do is to create more stories so they can still create a click porn. Click porn, people.
Could that deal be terminated by new owners?
Oh, the owners, I know who they are already.
No, I'm just saying, well, fair enough, but could we get a new kit manufacturer when that contract, when the current one expires, could the second one, like you say, like we did with the Gea, the contracts on the
Oh, you mean that? You mean TeamViewer?
Yeah, it's the media. The Gea agreed, Man United agreed. The contract,
yeah, but
on. So
okay, now we're talking takeover. You see, TeamViewer wanted to pull out, but they got 1 year free, if you remember. So this year is for free for TeamViewer. So if you get a new sponsorship, let's say it might be Qatar Airways, right? As we deluded. So if they come in, it's for free for TeamViewer, of course. Boom, change. But of course, you already printed the shirts, right? Anyway, Alien Tenno says only echo year need is the Manchester. What? Only echo year. What does
You
it
need.
say?
Only echo you need is the Manchester one, Mick.
100%, mate. 100%. Thank you again for the super chat, my friend. But I'm just not happy because at the end of the day, this keeps flip-flopping back and around. Close sale mentions Sheikh Yassim is Bidari behind the delays. You know, you don't know what you're talking about. I understand you're writing essays, but you're wanking over it, man. You're wanking over it. Like, you know, are you getting a pleasure writing these beautiful stories, and then you come out with this amazing headline that make people panic? And people nowadays don't have that patience anymore. They don't have the ability to read full articles. But if you actually read the article carefully, you will just see that it's the same article. They just throw things around, and it's nothing that is related to the headline. This is journalism nowadays.
Yeah,
Fuck me.
They get a weird fetish, don't they? They get a weird kick out of it. You know what I mean? So, just by jumbling a few words up and recycling.
I'm sorry, YouTube gonna probably cut me now because I just had to have a rant. But you know, to provide a voice of reasoning, people, like at the end of the day, there is some people that are so damaged. And that's what the club has been doing to you for years. That is the PR machine of Mike Ashton and all them. You know what I mean? They've been generating these stories. And you, as a consumer of the GAN fans, you are the one hurting. We are the one that most invested. We want this freaking parasites out, you know? And all I can say is, relax. Ten Hag is getting all his transfers over the line. There will be new owners. That's all you need to know. The rest is just BS, right? It came from my mouth now. I'm just saying you. But I also have one scintillating person that is kind of waiting in the green room. Should we, do you know who that is, Jarvis?
No, I don't know who that is.
I don't know. Wait a minute. Let me see. He just called me. He said his name. No, he said his name is Joel Glazer. He wants to come and have a say. He's pissed off. Should we let him in?
Let him in and let him have it.
Is that Joel Glazer?
Hi guys, it's Joel Glazer here. It's Joel Glazer here. Just thought I'd come and
where's your ponytail? What happened?
Tell you exactly what we're doing here in the background, just to let you guys know. Don't panic.
We are looting you.
Everything is all right. Everything's all right. We're making the right decisions. You'll hear about your new owners in due time. That's all we can say.
So Joel, what are you going to do after this? Are you planning to cut your ponytail or?
Yeah, cut my ponytail, move to Dubai. You know. Yeah,
Big up, Mr. Jimmy. How are you doing, Uncle Jimmy?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Sorry, I'm late. Just driving duties, work, and all that. You know how it is.
Wicked. Well, you texted me earlier. I understood you were late, and that's fine. I said come on when you are ready, and we covered most of it. We covered about the no bullshit stories. What's been going on in the media?
Yeah.
Keegan and Bacon's. What did I call him? Bacon's.
Call them whatever you want. Now,
Jacobs. They're just being like, oh, that's the worst I've ever seen. Like in the midst of 24 hours, what's it gonna be, people? On, off, on, off, on, off, God damn, right? We talked about 1958 having the spaces as well, where they were like almost hijacked to say we want to have control, we want to understand what's going on, we want to work with you, but you got to stop the protesters. So that's the thing.
Yeah.
So Jimmy, what is your take on what you've been reading regarding the takeover? Honest to God.
Yeah, I have trust issues anyway. I work in social services. I always go on about this, but I've worked in social services 14 years. So by nature, I only do facts. I only do reliable information. I can't work with information that I can't rely on. So I've tried to put earmuffs on, just any unnecessary noise that's coming out. What I will say though, what that's done is it's helped me develop this patience, because I'm looking at what's happening in terms of the transfer windows, looking at we're doing okay. Because for me, my panic was, if this doesn't go through, how are we going to work in the transfer window? But it's looking like, the right players are coming in. So when I look at it as a whole, I think, well, my reason for panicking isn't really a reason anymore, because the transfer window is moving a little bit. So for me, as long as it's happening in the background, I'm going to wait until the club tell me what's going on, really. I can't rely on any information at all at the moment. Nothing I've seen that I can trust.
Fair enough. You can only trust yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, on this channel, what I've been trying to do is provide a voice of reasoning, and I believe I cured many PTSD fans, here, because I've been saying this all along. You thought I was crazy, but I said, look, this going to happen, right? We got all the first targets. Relax, relax, relax. And I know I've been saying that by default, being a Manchester United fan is always to hit the panic button, because this is the way we've been treated, right? Because Glazes never communicated to us, right? And all we had to do is second guess and believe what the media is writing. That was the only source of confirmation and information that we had, until the invention of Fabrizio Romano that came out with the "here we go" thing, right? But only, things can happen in the transfer market. But what we've been seeing now under Erik ten Hag this season is a totally different operation of Manchester United. What I've been trying to educate people as well, the way we're operating, the way we are conducting ourselves, and the way we are focusing on getting players out.
I think another thing just to add. I think we're quite lucky to have Ten Hag. Actually, I think people don't appreciate how lucky we are, because I think people just think about the football. But I think if you look at the way that he's trying to manage, because obviously he's focused on the playing staff at the club. I think he's building the right relationships with the right people at the club. And what I mean by that is, I think he's taken a leaf out of Sir Alex Ferguson's book. And I think that you're seeing that, because he knows if he builds the right relationships, he'll have a lot more control to be able to maneuver and do what he needs to do. And I think that's been key, enabled, for him to be able to make movements in the transfer window. Because I think if he had sat back and just thought of himself as just the football manager, I think it would have probably not gone so well, because they would have probably given him targets that he's not bothered about having at the club. So people should be grateful to have Ten Hag.
Okay, well, I just want to say thank you again for Alien Tenno. Don't buy papers with ink spots. Absolutely smashing. Thanks again, Peter. Listen, I just want to close the shop with these takeover things, because I'm so tired of it. I didn't go out yesterday to do a video like everyone else, because all it takes is one paper to publish something, and it will fall like dominoes. You've seen it, right? And all the fan cams and channels did the same thing. I didn't want to. There's no need to, because it was bullshit stories anyway, right? And all you need to know is just be patient. Like, things gonna happen. We've seen it with the. I mean, one thing that you understand right now that Joel Glazer doesn't really have much control. Like, everything is signed up by Joel Glazer at the end of the day, who sits on the top of the approval pyramid. So he will never sign off like on a Hojlund or those. He only wants the sexy players, right? And thing is, I think this is going to go very, very soon. And we've been saying on this channel, the possible theory, and to announce it after the transfer window. This is what I still believe.
Yeah.
Right. Cool.
If they had their way, they will control all the fan channels if they could.
They
and
can't.
I just hope the new owners come in and interact with many a fan channel and build a better relationship with the fans.
No, they can't. They can't. And the thing is, that's cancellation. Freedom of speech is under seriously threat at the moment. Like, we saw it with. I was watching yesterday off the topic, like, Anthony Blinken, for instance, the Foreign Secretary of the United States, visited Australia, and they addressed the question about Julian Assange, and he said no, he's going to get extradited. So for what? For freedom of speech, for publishing something that was given to him, right? So that's one case that I'm following closely. And another thing, that another YouTuber was arrested for freedom of speech as well, for just publishing a video. And this is where the path is. They want to control everything right now. They want you to own nothing and be happy at the end of the day. Just to be, I'll keep buying the merchandise and keep look that way, divide and conquer at the end of the day. But listen, we are not here to talk more about this, guys, because we have a show to run as well. And Jarvis.
Yes.
All the way from USA, Cam, back to Norway. What is on your mind today, sir?
Yeah, well, I think we could have an educational show today and maybe go through the new FA rules for the season.
Oh, you mean this one?
Yes, sir.
Ooh, interesting one. Yeah, I agree. People, let's talk about this. I don't know if you've been versed in catching up what was said today, like, regarding the new FA rules.
No, I'd heard that there was new rules, but I hadn't had a chance to read them yet. Like, for me, this is a bit. I always say sometimes this is just a publicity thing, isn't it? Because, I mean, you look at that first one, I don't think that's a big change. I mean, apart from the fact that they're spelling it out in the rules, that's technically what happens anyway.
Okay.
So, I feel like sometimes that they'll make this a big deal, but actually on the underneath the surface information is completely pointless. It doesn't actually change the game in any significant way.
No, 100%. Somebody mentioned here in the comments, Nigel Farage. That was a scandal. You guys live in the UK. You know who Nigel Farage is, right?
Oh, yes.
They canceled all these. They denied him to buy the bank, to have a bank account.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I don't like him, but even that's a bit extreme.
Yeah, it was a bit. And also, it was all false anyway. It wasn't correct, was it? It wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't what it was reported to be. He's had apologies from all the media outlets and all that sort of stuff. So,
listen, guys. At the end of the day, what we're going to look at is this. Like, we're going to see the changes happening here, guys. So this is like the rules, the 9 rules, and that's going to take place. And
9.
we'll go over. Yeah, let's go over them one by one as well. So, this 9, I think it was 9 rules. Basically saying staff members to sign new code of conduct. Managers to attend pre-match briefings with refs. Coaches to behave in responsible manners at all times. Bosses and staff must remain in technical areas. Don't even cross the line. That means Jurgen Klopp, you're in big trouble. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No showing refs replays on electronical devices to influence them. What you see Klopp and them doing, right? They're all sitting with their pads. Staff is banned
I don't
from
see that one that much, to be honest. I don't see that one that much.
No, but obviously the refs has been complaining for being peddling, right? Be influenced, right? Because some are forceful in nature. We're talking about the Klopps and the Guardiolas and all that. They are big on complaining on the fourth officials, right? So basically, staff are banned from entering pitch to speak to officials, and captains to take more responsibility. Thank God, Harry Maguire, you're not the captain anymore.
Yeah.
You know, you would just be hiding. Players not to invade official space. That's the most important thing, right? Once the decision has been made, and if there's a VR check, you see how the swarm, the referee, trying to influence it, right? Let the referee do his things, right? And fans to stop tragedy chanting. That I don't really understand. Tragedy chanting. What?
Like
Is
when
that?
they make fun of like the Hillsborough disaster and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, Munich air disaster as well.
Munich air disaster.
Yeah, because Man United fans have been on the receiving end as well, and say what happened at Leeds in Turkey as well, and that was tragic. And you say,
Yeah.
But are you going to tell an entire stand to shut up?
That's what I don't understand.
Are you going to tell the entire stand to shut up? It ain't going to work. You're just going to pick one or two individuals and ban them. It's
Okay.
not going to work at all.
For me, I see both pros and cons regarding this. I want the game to move faster, 100%. But this is also a cry for have more protection for the refs, like, you know, don't touch us, right? Because they were heavily.
How about a referee explaining himself?
Yeah.
This is because of referees' inconsistency. This is because of some of the decisions last season in all the in the Premier League. Teams have been robbed. Casemiro suspended. I remember it, like say against Crystal Palace, the sending off. Oh, against Southampton. So referees have got this. All this is because of referees' inconsistency. And
Yeah, no, that's you absolutely singing from the same Spotify hymn shit as me, Andy, because I'm thinking with a critical mindset, why is this rule out there? Because it's to protect them in a way. Because last season they got a lot of stick from inconsistency. The VAR got, you know, if you can give VAR room stick because they're not sitting at the stadium, they're sitting in a van somewhere in a control room watching Pornhub, to be honest, sometimes. Not watching the game. I just don't understand. So one thing that I would love to see here is mic'd up referees with the VAR room straight away.
Like the rugby.
You like the rugby.
Yeah.
So the audience and everyone can hear clear and obvious what they're discussing. That is fair, isn't it? Why should you bubble wrap yourself around these rules all of a sudden? Player not allowed to touch you, player not allowed to question you next time.
You know, the difference for me has always been if you look at rugby, it's a sport that's designed with, you know, stopping and starting in mind. It's not a sport that's designed to continue for long periods of time. You're prepared to stop every few seconds, really, if you think about the way the game is played. Whereas with football, it's very different. We want the game to be continuous for at least long periods of time. So if there's too much communication, it means there's more stopping and starting in the match. And I feel like that could probably create more problems than it would resolve any
American
problem.
Football.
Yeah, it would become like American football, because if the coaching staff are hearing what the refs are thinking, imagine the chaos that's going to be coming from the technical areas. So, you know, I think it would cause more harm than it would good. But that's just my opinion.
You imagine a referee trying to explain decision in front of 50,000 people.
Exactly.
So you may get
more problems from the fans. So that means
you may get somebody running on the pitch, player abandons the game. But referees, I think, with these rules have been implemented, the VAR section and the referee, they should be focused on that as well. You can't just level out one problem and leave another problem when you've got to level out the other problem and bring it to a level. There's a set of rules there for the referees. If they make a mistake, they're punishable. They will be demoted, or removed from the VAR room, or removed from refereeing games, and they'll drop into a league. But there's nothing there. It's happened. Referees have been removed for bad decisions. Really bad decisions.
Yeah, Mariner, for instance.
I go back to Ericsson when he got cropped by Andy Carroll. I mean, that was the referee should have been demoted for that. He really
should be.
Yeah, and like you say, and the referee you sent off, was it Casemiro? He was
Andrew
asking-
Mariner. Andy Mariner.
Andy Mariner. No, he was in the VAR room, wasn't it? Something. But I
Yeah,
remember
but
that
first time was
said that.
Mariner, and second time, and second time Mariner was in the VR room, and who was the baldy guy that was the referee?
Yeah, that's the ref. That ref went on BT Sports previously a few months ago, and was asking Fellini. It said, "Oh, please try to understand where I'm coming from." Yeah, the following week it was the same lineup with referee and VAR guy, and a Brentford player nearly got his leg broken by a Southampton player, or it was the other way around in the same sort of sense. And the poor lad left the stadium on crutches.
Yeah, scissor tackles, my people, scissor tackles. Listen, I have a problem, and I want to see further change. Only have referees to play the game, that understands the game. Most of the referees, they never played the game. If you understand what I'm trying to say, if you play the game, you understand the flow of the game, you understand what's going on in the player's mind. That makes you a better referee. But I love rugby in a way, because people respect the umpires more in rugby because they have clear communication. They do understand what's going on in the field. And over the years of time, players respect the refs more because it's fair, right? Here, they're trying to sort of shield themselves, against the game, against the player, against the rulings and decisions. Just say, well, it's our decision. Fuck off. Stand there, wait for your judgment.
What? So are they? What are they talking about? What about the captains on the pitch? How would they hear what the referees are saying? Would they have a little device in their ear to listen to what the refs are communicating? Because obviously, if you're going to give because they're saying they want the captains to have more power on the pitch, or to have more control, to manage their teams more. So if that's what you're saying, then they need to hear what you're discussing for every decision, so that they know how to manage their players.
This is what I think they want, to be honest. I think they only want to speak to the captain. They don't want to be sworn by other players. Only captain is allowed to speak. The rest should be quiet. This is what I interpreted. But that's just my interpretation, though.
Well, sorry, Andy. When it comes to the rule, I'm old school, and the thing is, I feel like the new rules now, the players can't talk to the referee, they can't run, they can't show passion, they can't show. When you play the game, you want to win that much. You're at 100% in your head.
Yeah, adrenaline.
Your blood is boiling, and you want to win the next duel. You want to do everything you can for the team.
Yeah.
And suddenly you get a foul against you, but you didn't touch the player. Why can't we just allow people to express themselves for 5 seconds? It's no problem.
That's what football is about.
If abuse and the players starts to getting into the referee's face for 30 seconds, that's a clear yellow card. But let people have their passion.
But if you look at Irish football, Gaelic football, they never changed. They're still punching each other on the field, mate. They're still having a brawl, and that's the way it used to be, right? In the 70s, they used to have fights, and then there was a punch, but then they were shaking hands and what?
60s as well. I can remember there's a famous picture of a Tottenham player grabbing older 𝑷𝒉𝒊𝒔𝒉 of Leeds, and that was old school. Put them up, put up the dukes.
Dennis the Menace was famous. He's punched them, and then afterwards, 1 minute later, they're running off and have a cup of tea together.
Yeah, there's another one in the 70s. I think it was Derby County v Leeds in the 𝑷𝒉𝒊𝒔𝒉 era. They knocked 7 bells out of each other, Derby and Leeds player, as they were walking off as well after getting a red card.
I don't know. I think the refs are scared in a way. But I want to continue with some case samples, if you don't mind, people, to see how this is going to affect. So managers are also being urged to behave responsibility. And I think this is the most important part of the rule. That's what I think. Not the players, but the managers of the pitch. Because far more we've seen Jurgen Klopp going and yelling at the fourth officials. And, I understand the passion, but a yellow card, yes. What do you guys reckon about this one? This should be more applicable to the managers on the pitch side.
I think it's obviously it's common sense, isn't it? But I think the problem again is, like Jarvis was saying, I'm a bit old school as well. I like some passion in the game. I like when managers get a bit mental. It's good for TV even. It gives you
good entertainment.
a sense of spirit. Just the spirit of the game is when I see managers going absolutely mental on that touchline, that's it's part of it. Now, you take that away and you're now making the game a bit too robotic almost. It's just that all these rules just are designed to make the game more boring and, you know, much easier to control for the authorities rather than for the people. You know,
true. But the thing is, when this rule is you know, after the game with Roma, when they lost the final, Mourinho after the game, he was going
Mourinho,
crazy.
yeah.
And the referee was getting abuse on his plane, his wife and his kids and everything. So they want to protect the referees afterwards, and the managers have.
But that's fair enough. They want to do that. That's fair enough. But it's killing the game at the end of the day, right? You know, I like to see a passionate gaffer. Like, you know, what is the role of the manager? To stand on the touchline, to fire up his players. Come on, get in there, knock him down. Come on. Instead of what you saw, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was just sitting with his iPad. They were just sitting there watching the iPads. They were never on the touchline.
Now, if you do a Louis van Gaal and fall down on the floor, remember that?
That's what I'm saying.
That's entertainment.
The game. That's
Jurgen Klopp doing his Baywatch run after they scored a last-minute winner.
Mourinho after that when he was at Porto, look at him, that run.
Yeah. When he gets the water bottles and smashes them down like that when we score in the last minute.
Or Pep accidentally smacking one of his technical stuff with a bottle of water. Do you remember? That? It's these things that just you want to see that. You want to see that.
Pep running down the line thinking they scored the winner against Spurs. And he's like, yeah. 10 seconds later.
That is magic. That's what you want. What you want to see.
Or pulling the hamstring like this one.
What an idiot. Who pulls a hammy on a celebration?
He wasn't a peacemaker there, was he? Peacemaker. Oh, that's a great combo.
He came off stiff. He didn't warm up.
What an idiot.
Sponsored by Viagra, people.
Yeah.
100%, guys. Listen, sorry if I'm still having echoes. I don't really understand what was going on here. But listen, next case study is what I want to bring up as well for an educational purpose is this slide as well. Like players being reminded over the conduct. This applies to Bruno, 100%, you know, because Bruno is being very petulant, but people forget where he's from. He's from the southern part of Europe. They let him players to play with passion, with mana, with flair, like, you know. So it's normal to go, hey, what fun call, hey, like it is, right? Throwing the hands up, right? Are you all of a sudden going to get a yellow card for, you know, showing a little bit of passion? Guys.
I'm worried about Onana, to be honest, more than anyone.
Oh, yeah.
That's who I'm worried about because he gets very, very passionate, especially when the game is in the big games because he's a big game performer and he's in his passion can take him over. I mean, he's had incidents where he goes right up to the ref's face and it's scary. Yeah. So I worry about him probably more so than Bruno because I think Bruno with the armband is going to have to. I think he's going to force himself to behave a little bit better than he normally does. I think.
Well, yeah.
He won't get as
Onana first game gave bollocks to Harry Maguire for making a mistake. You saw that.
And the agenda from the English media going against him, he shouldn't be doing that.
Oh yeah, but they're protecting their own. That's what they always do. He's one of ours. This guy's a foreigner.
Like he was out of order. I mean, you can't. How can you say a keeper was out of order for shouting at a defender? I've never heard. This is the problem with the English media. They're so blatant about favouring English players. I've never heard the media criticize a goalkeeper for trying to control what his defenders do at any given time. That's the first time I've ever heard anyone in the media say that.
100%.
It's weird.
Also, what I want to mention that, you know, they're not calling a cricket game or like, you know, some bridge game where you have to sort of, talk to the eyes, should be so nice. Let's have a cup of tea. British. Yeah. No, man. Football is multicultural. That's the thing. Like, how many English players do we actually have in the first team versus how many foreign players do we have?
Yeah, we have a lot of foreign players in the Premier League. It's actually, I think it's more foreign players than English players in the Premier League at the moment. So it's just the way it is. But when it comes to the passion of the game, it's a good thing that Bruno has the captaincy, because he's a passionate player and he always yells at the referee. So at least he has a little bit of extra when it comes to the referee, because it would be a disaster if Bruno get a yellow card every game because he talks to the referee. But I agree with Uncle Jimmy when he says Onana, because I haven't seen Onana. He has the fire in him. He likes to shout, and then not only on his center backs, but on everybody. So he's very aggressive in a way, like I would say Peter Schmeichel in his time. And yeah, maybe it will cost us many yellow cards. But to be honest, I think we will see in the beginning of the season now a lot of yellow cards. It's new rules, and one of the other rules that's very stupid. It's like only one of the coaches can stand in the area and shout at the same time, and the other one has to sit on their seats. And if they stand up and shout at the same time as the manager stands in the zone and shouts, well, it's automatically yellow card. It's very strange, the new rules. So.
I know it's an adaptation period. The same when they introduced the rule of no passing back. You know, remember that one? And goalkeeper cannot pick up the hands and stuff like that. So it's always changing, right? It's always changing. But fair and square, you need to have a strong communicator as captain. And Maguire wasn't that communicator. He was always hiding behind the interviews. Who did all the interviews? Luke Shaw, who else? Scotty McTominay, never to be seen. Captain Harry, no. Never.
Yeah, definitely.
He was running away from the refs, even when there were scuffles, right?
And the thing with Maguire as well that I had a problem with is just he was never honest about the match. He'd say, "Oh, the lads did great," or it's like just like some practiced, written, scripted response to every question. Bruno, if you listen to Bruno after a match, if the team's been rubbish, he's going to say the team's been rubbish. Bruno. I'm telling you, Bruno's going to start naming names. Just watch this space. He's going to start naming names.
If you go back to that Liverpool game when we lost 5-0, Maguire, like I'm only out here because I'm Man United captain and I've got to be out here. That was basically his reply to the 5-0 defeat to Liverpool, and it stunk of arrogance. And I don't know what. I'm only here because I have to be here. So it shows. It shows his flaws, and Bruno's gonna, like I say, he's gonna point a few fingers this season.
Yeah, I think he is. I think he's gonna name names at some point. He's very clever in how he words his criticism, but he's gonna name names, I'm sure.
Yeah. When it comes to the new rules, I feel that these are just like details that they could have. Just use the rules that we had before. What I would like to see is protecting the players. We have seen this season, we have 3 big injuries because of scissor tackling. It was on Eriksson, Garnacho, and who was the last one that got injured by scissor tackle? So we had 3 big ones.
Garnacho.
Yeah, and Donny. So we had 3 because of the scissor tackles. And there were no bookings on none of them, if I remember correctly. So and they don't do that. They don't protect the players. So for me, I think the referees should take a good look at themselves and try to figure out how to fix that problem, because that's more important than any referee who gets his pride a little bit hurt in a moment of shouting.
I just want to break the ice here because Lee Parker has been asking questions just off the topic. Any of you guys think that Tammy Abrams would be a good fit for United to beef up the attack?
Absolutely not.
No,
absolutely not.
I mean, Roma would ask for a stupid fee anyway, even if there was something to if he was showing some kind of interest, or United was. So I think, Roma would want about 60 million, 70 million. They would put him on the same price as Hojlund. So no.
Absolutely not for me. Absolutely not a chance. He would never. He couldn't play in the Ten Hag system. I don't think. I think he would struggle. The only way he would play is if he plays as a false nine. Maybe I think he could probably manage to play in that role. But I can't see him playing as a striker in the Ten Hag system. Not a chance in hell.
I mean, when he came on at Chelsea with Frank Lampard, he had a great first season. Then he just sort of fell off a cliff. Went to Roma, was okay. You say he's worshipped there anyway. They worship him.
He's a decent player, but he's not. No, not for Ten Hag.
Okay, fair enough, guys. I want to move on to the next case study, which is the more recently applicable, right? I want to bring this to the stage as well. And that is, if you remember, Aleksandar Mitrovic received an 8-match ban for, attacking the referee. You remember this game at the end of the season at Old Trafford?
Yeah, it was the FA Cup quarter-final, yeah.
Yeah, but fair enough. He touched the referee, right? That's a straight red. What do you reckon?
Yeah, it's a straight red, but obviously a lot of the complaints were around the fact that Bruno had a similar incident, similar proximity, similar incident.
Liverpool won it. It was the Liverpool game, yeah.
Yeah, Liverpool game. So for me, consistency is key because they're saying that, managers' behavior should be consistent, but the officials' behavior is inconsistent because it's almost as if the tempo of the game and whatever's happening around the pitch determines how they make the decision. Well, that's the right way to do it. But if you're making everything else or, robotic and universal, then make sure that everything is universal and robotic, because you can't just, be flexible when it suits you guys, but then when it doesn't suit you guys, you're not flexible at all. So
if you remembered it, the linesman barged into Bruno.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they tried to make that the same incident as Mitrovic.
Yeah,
that's what they try. And it says
that's the problem they're going to have. There's going to be there's margins, and those margins are why I think it shouldn't be so robotic. It should be just make sure the referees are competent. This is what they don't understand. It's not the rules; it's the competency of the referees themselves.
I remember Mascherano on Old Trafford. They had to hold him back. He got sent off, man. Everybody had to hold him back. Old Trafford when we beat him 3-0. That sort of level, isn't it?
I'm kind of I'm muting myself. I'm muting because I don't want to have this echoing thing. But at the end of the day, that is if you charge against the referee. But back in the older days, they used to punch the referee as well, right? You know what I mean?
Well,
my dad used to do it. He got banned for life, to be honest, back in the 80s when he used to play football as well. But that was fair and square. Like, referees trying to set an example, but nowadays it's just becoming you cannot even touch somebody, without getting red carded. Or I want to see, if they're going with the studs rule, I want to see more on the scissor tackles, like we discussed this earlier with Andy Carroll and all that stuff, right? Because that's injury tackles. You can go easily back in retrospective, watch the VR and say, "Oof, that is no good," right? Especially if it turns to an injury that the player has to wobble out. That should be a red card, according to my opinion. They should be able to, look in the retrospective of the VR room and decide afterwards, well, that was a damaging tackle, right? You damaged the player, so therefore, as a punishment, you should be sent off. Maybe it's just me thinking that way, but I don't know what you guys are thinking.
Yeah, I agree in a way, because you see a lot of ugly tackles, like bad tackles, and when you come in with your both feet and you're just like do like this, it only have one intent. I played football all my life. I know how it is. If you go like that,
you play the game.
And we had 3 players last season. It was Donny, it was Garnacho, and it was Eriksson, who all of them got injured because of scissor tackles, and the referee did nothing. They did nothing, and that's great.
That was a complaint that my understanding is Ten Hag put in a complaint about that, to say, I've had 3 of my players injured in very similar fashion with no consequences to any of the players, because the rules do allow them to take retrospective action against players if it was classed as dangerous, and
I agree.
nothing was reviewed.
Casemiro sent off, if you remember, that sort of tackle on the Southampton player. Yeah. And it was the same tackle on Garnacho in the same game, late on. No, and he went off injured. No penalty, no card, no nothing.
No consistency at all, which is extremely annoying for us. But we always get this as Manchester United, and all the other fan base think we're delusional about it. I'm not always biased. I can reasonably look at things, and I don't think we are. I think there is a lot of decisions that go against us that wouldn't go against other teams, just because of the atmosphere that a Manchester United game creates for the referee. It's always a cup final when teams play against Manchester United, so create an extra difficult atmosphere.
Did you see that video that was circulating around Twitter, doing rounds about this guy? His knee just went, two-folded, right? I think. Did you see that one? I think it was he was playing against Marcelo. I think it looked like a Marcelo guy in a red shirt. Went in to stop the ball. You just saw how his knee, his whole leg, went like a Swiss Army knife. Did you see that one? I just said, ouch. Did you see that one yesterday? What?
I'm glad I didn't.
You didn't? Did you see that, Jarvis?
I saw it. It's a horrible picture. You don't want to see that picture because, it feels like your stomach turns. That pain and it looks so bad
I've seen it.
His knee is 90 degrees the wrong way. It's horrible.
Way.
Mick, I was there in '96 when that Coventry player snapped his leg, and you could hear it. You could hear him. You could hear the scream. I was behind the goal. I saw the blood get washed away. And they brought on was it dust to soak it up, and it was quite shocking, and it rattled a lot in that section of the ground where I was, including me. David Bust, I think he was, and it ended his career as well. So yeah.
I mean, I was surprised Luke Shaw's career didn't end with that injury, to be honest, because that was a horrific injury. Not many players come back from that and play at top level.
Yeah, 100%. Guys, I want to also round up this discussion by playing a video because this has gathered some momentum around, media outlets and stuff like that. So if you don't mind, I will share a clip with you guys right now regarding this from ESPN Sport. It was in a debate that they had yesterday.
Supporter behaviour. Here are their rules on changes on team conduct. Robbo and Shaka are still with us. I'm going to come to you first, though, Craig, because this is something I feel that we've been talking more and more about last season, this behaviour and unacceptable behaviour on the pitch. So
this is like Craig Burley, isn't it? Right? Right, yeah. So listen to what he has to say.
You're happy to see these measures being put in place?
I'm happy to see the ball starting to roll. I think, particularly from a manager's perspective, we're seeing more harassing of the fourth officials than ever. It's happening too much. We saw, for those that remember, the end of last year, the berating of Anthony Taylor from a babyish Jose Mourinho, whose site...
That was his name, Anthony Taylor, guys. That was the second guy that sent off. They gave red card to Casemiro in the second game. Anthony Taylor, the ball guy, yes. He was the one that was calling the Roma game. He was absolutely berated by Mourinho, and all the fans afterwards was chasing. There was even fights around the ref.
In the airport,
who tried to throw it all back to the referee. That filtered through to the moronic element of the Roma fans, and Anthony Taylor's family had to deal with that at the airport, and we saw the scenes. It was ugly. It was ugly. There was punches being thrown from people around that referee over remarks been made by players, but more so managers. And so I think something has to be done. Certainly from both sides, the player's perspective and the management perspective. From the player angle on it, it kind of gets more annoying whether you agree with VAR or not, and whether you agree with the appliance of VAR. The continual surrounding of officials when big decisions have been made is even more infuriating when you're shouting at these players, for God's sake, he's already told you this is going to be looked at, and yet they continue to surround referees and berate them, and in some...
is what I've been saying. Like, you know, fair enough. Like, you know, at least the decision has been made, or, you know, the decision is not going to be changed if you're surround the referee, like, you know, because he's trying to listen to the VAR room for the correct decision, right? So this is what they're trying to change. They only have the captain there speaking. You know what I mean? Not the whole team.
It's going to be hard to police, I think.
Yeah, let's continue.
Times this last year, it became physical. So I'm delighted. I thought that the punishment handed out to Mitrovic was, I was fine with that. I would have taken more. I thought the punishment handed out to Jurgen Klopp was not enough. But I think this incident we saw at Man United.
Now you're in mute, Mick.
You see, some managers, he's got a point there to say that, you know, some managers are favorable, like they get away with it, like, you know, Klopp, you know, Guardiola, they can do whatever they want without giving sort of mild fun. You know, I don't know why. For some reason, the referee system doesn't really work in, you know, in equal way. That's what they call the Manchester United tax, and that's what they call the Klopp influence, right? So I'm glad to see that this is going to be stopped as well, guys.
In the cup was a disgrace. It was a real disgrace. And it just carried on from the manager to Mitrovic. Then we saw the physical approach where the referee had to back off. He's already laid his hands on him on more than one occasion. It's just, look, we all get frustrated as players. We've all berated referees. But this is beyond the pale. This has gone too far. And the FA are absolutely right. And let's see when this season starts if it has any effect, and let's see if it doesn't have an effect, whether the FA clamp down on it and hammer down on it and punish people. Because if you start punishing people, you start punishing managers, you start suspending players, it will stop. Because when a manager goes up to a player and says, listen, I don't need you suspended for 3 games, I need you available, so you have to use your head on the field. Don't get suspended for stupid offences. If you don't do anything about it, okay, they'll keep doing it. If you start punishing players and managers, we'll see it hopefully stopping in the game.
Yep.
Yeah, he made a point. He made a good point. And I kind of agree what he was saying there. Like, you know, guys, I don't know what you think, but at the end of the day, he made a very, very valid point, right? So it's down to the manager, it's down to the captain in terms of conduct, right? So as what we deluded before, like it's going to be taking a rotation period in the beginning, but you know, I'm thinking about the likes of Anthony Dos Santos getting too hot-headed and getting sent off too easily and stuff like that. You got to think all of a sudden when you're playing the game, like, you know, don't get yourself sent off for a silly, you know, chatting shit to the referee, right? I don't know, Jimmy, what do you reckon?
Yeah, I mean, it's. I've just seen a really interesting comment just now. This could trigger an exodus to the Saudi League if they clamp down too hard on the Premier League. The reason that's an interesting comment to me is that, again, I'm going back to the fact that if football becomes so controlled, I mean, control is always good to a certain extent, you know, but it can very easily become too much. It can become abusive. And I think if it's so controlled to the point where the people most involved in the game, who are the players and the fans, because they're the basics of football, it's the footballers themselves and the fans who come to see them. Though they're the 2 pillars of the game. If they feel uninvolved in the Premier League in general, you will see people becoming more interested in football outside of the Premier League. And I think that can become quite dangerous. In long term, it can become quite dangerous.
It could lose its edge, really. You could get the best players going abroad, let's say to the Saudi League, other leagues. And it's quite scary. It's like, say, it's like we're being told you will accept what goes on the pitch. You will do as you are say. You will accept whatever decision goes, and you will accept the consequences. And you can't have a voice to, like I say, appeal. I won't, you know, you can't do this, you can't do that. So that's the danger. That's the danger. You could, say, you could get top managers leaving. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's happening. Look at the type of managers that they've been. I mean, they haven't got many, but if you look at the level of managers that they've been attempting, I mean, it's a really frightening prospect. I mean, you know, they weren't genuinely going after some of these top managers. You know, I think Marco Silva is you know, they're looking at that level of manager. Those are good managers. These are very good managers. So yes, it's a real danger.
Okay, Jarvis, what do you reckon? I mean, is this a threat to the game? I think it is. I think it's destroying the game. I mean, football is evolving, and so is the rules. But it's still a ball. It's still, you know, 22 players on the field. You know, 22 players to play with passion. And this is what I was saying. You know, I want referees to play the game that understands the emotion that goes in. You know, you play the game, you understand, right? So what's your reflection over all this? Do you reckon it's good or bad?
Yeah, well, when I used to play, I played the game for, I don't know, 35 years, 30 years at least. And the thing is, if I could talk to the referee during the game, I respected him. You know, I could say my things and he could like respond to me and say no or yes or give me an explanation, because sometimes it's hard to understand what the ref wants, and it's important for a player to be able to communicate with the referee on the pitch. If we come to a stage where the referees are on pedestals, they're on high up and you can't even talk to them or you will get booked, I think the game has taken a wrong turn, to be honest. I think we need to have the passion. We need to have the ability to speak, and I think it's important for players, you know, because as I said earlier, when your blood is boiling, you're at 100%. You want to win the next tackle. Sometimes you do stupid things. Yes, the players do stupid things, but the referee also do stupid things, and you know, they're adults. They're grown men out on the field, and you know, at that level, you can handle a little bit of shouting. You know, you're not made of paper. So I think we should accept it and let the game be the game that we know, and don't be too strict on the rules.
I just wanted to comment quickly on. You made a point about referees being put on a pedestal. That's a way more important point than people realize, because if you think of referees in the game of football, they're the only party that don't get criticized. You're not allowed to criticize referees. Everyone else that's involved in the game of football can be criticized apart from the referee. So they're already held to such a high pedestal. I mean, if you look at fans get criticized for how they behave. If they're singing certain things or they're saying certain things, they're behaving in a certain way. If they're booing their own players, they get criticized. Managers get criticized. Coaching staff get criticized. The players, we don't even want to start, they get criticized. Criticize the referee even a tiny little bit. No, you can't do that. Well, why not? Yeah. They're involved in the game, so why can't we criticize them?
Yeah, can I agree with you to say that, you know, I just want to add my say on this whole thing. But if you have more to say, Jimmy, just go ahead. Like, you know.
No. That's the only point. I was just because Jarvis mentioned about referees being put on a pedestal, so it just triggered that thought for me to say.
You see, my problem is as observing it from last season is that referees should be not being seen. You know, they're not part of the game, right? But for some reason, they want to have the limelight. They want to be seen. They want to be famous. They want to be the ones calling it, right? And there's been so many controversial decisions and referees getting the headlines, right? And I understand, like, you know, how they're, you know, aiming to protect for the security, yeah? But you're getting paid to referee a game. So you should not be the, what do you call it? You should be like, you know, somebody like a prop. You know what I mean? Not the actor on the stage, right? Just a prop, right? But it's that kind of turning the page, because if you're speaking about Anthony Taylor and Mariners and all them, you know, I saw them last season coming out before the players, standing like a god in the middle of the pitch and just like, I got the power. You know what I mean?
Puff chest out.
Puff chest out, sending a Casemiro. Don't question my decision. But their thing is they're backing themselves. So what you've seen on the back of everything, there was no point of even complaining about the referee's decision in retrospective to do the complaint against the ref association, because they hold each other's backs and everything will be overturned. If you get overturned, overruled, then you sort of lose to. Then you risk to get another day's suspension of the player by just lodging that complaint. I don't know if you remember that, but certain things, for me, according to my opinion, you just got to let the game flow and let, understand the emotions of the players, right? There should not be like, the main character of the stage. We're not here to pay to see the referee play, right? Referee is there to referee the game in a fair fight, Same when you see boxing, you let them go fight each other, only cut when you see something like illegally stuff. But are you okay? Okay, let's continue, right? But when it comes down to communication, I agree with what Jarvis is saying, because I played the game too, right? It's normal to have a discussion or communication during the game with the referee to understand how can I do things better, not to get the yellow card, or how should we behave, right? Now you're not allowed to even talk to the ref, right? And it's understandable what Mitrovic did, because he was frustrated. Hey, like that's his first instinct, right? Hey, ref, grabbed him. So he touched him, right? He got red. But that was for him to get his attention, according to my opinion. But I just want to say that, sadly, I agree with some certain points of this rule, right? Fine. I agree with this touchline, the technical box, fine. But in terms of being players, communicating with the referees, I mean, they have the right, because they're playing the game, right? They're the ones that are running around in the field, busting the balls. They're the ones that are trying to score and defend, right?
But also, just visually, excuse me, visually, what does it look like? Players not reacting to decisions. What does that look like?
You might as well put mannequins on there,
I mean, just think about it visually. I'm a right back. I'm Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I'm chasing down the winger. He was ahead of me. I've managed to catch up with him. Perfect tackle. I've got the ball. I think I've not touched the man at all. I've got just the ball. It's a perfectly fine tackle. Referee blows the whistle. Free kick. Close to the edge of the box. And I walk away. I just nothing. I don't see how that works.
Yeah.
What does it look like?
You're on mute again, Mick.
Yeah, somebody keep muting me. Is that you, Jarvis?
No, it wasn't me this time.
Sorry. Who's got the button? Stop trolling me. I have problems today.
I have no expertise on computers, mate. My hands
free.
I couldn't launch a space shuttle if I tried.
We definitely have gremlins in there. Joel Grazer, get out of the stream. Alien Tenno again, Peter, so grateful for you've been a champions today, donating to the channel with your super chats. Basically what you're saying, I agree. Officials should then train like pros. 100%, man. 100%. Because it comes down to they are fit. They're running around. Fine. Cool. Right. But, just be a referee. Don't be the drama. Oh, don't touch me. Oh, right. What you're just doing right now is killing the game by having no freedom of speech, having full control. Now, so what's going to happen in the future? Are we going to have AR bots running around being ref instead? Right? More accurate programmer? Jimmy, you're mute. I don't know. Because we see AI technology taking over. Should we have bots running around, drones?
Artificial referees, yeah.
Yeah, but that's where it's going, isn't it? That's where it's heading. It's heading to having no refs on the pitch at all. Just AI making all the decisions.
There'd be a drone following all. Then let's say it'll issue a yellow card and it'll flash on the scoreboard. Number 9.
I mean, I do understand this rule, but I'm a little bit disappointed that I think that at least they could have done some justification to the VR rule, at least, the ref mic and stuff like that. What was his name? He's no longer with us anymore, but he was in charge of the head of ref associations. Mike Dean, was it? No? What was his name?
Mike. What was his name?
Mike Dean, I think. Mike Dean, yeah. So he's no longer with us, right? But they did decide that this season they're going to make a show, at least on Sky Sport or BT or something, to discuss and let the fans hear what they're talking about. But this is not what I want. This is in retrospective. I want to hear it on the pitch, right? What made this a handball? Why did you send off this guy? Well, why did Casemiro get a red card? He didn't strangle the guy. He was holding his collar, like, you know. Then you see on the other instance where they actually strangled the person, right? Unbelievable. Well, anyway, this is causing debates, like, you know.
Mick, we have forgot to one of the new rules is added time. This I remember
please.
under the World Cup, they were talking about adding time. They added like 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
Where did it come from? Yeah, explain.
So this season they will do the same. The referee is allowed to add for everything that's stalling of the time. You know, if you do unnecessary subs in the 90th minutes, you do 2 subs and it takes 3 minutes, the referee will add 3 minutes. Every time a player lies down and roll around extra, the referee is allowed to add time. So we will see a lot of added time this season. We have to get used to 10 minutes, 15 minutes extra
I like
time
that though.
game.
I like that.
Can't wait when we score 2 in the last 10 minutes of injury time or 15. That'd be brilliant, that. You know, I can't wait. If we do that to somebody, you see the meltdown of the opponent.
Yeah, the players will have to get used to not rolling around on the ground for no reason. They're going to have to get used to
Neymar
it.
here, like, you know, Neymar's going to be affected. Rolling,
They're
keep
not
rolling.
those extra minutes. You know, for the players, I don't think they would want that rule.
How will Newcastle do this season when they can't do
That's
their
a
thing?
good one. That's a good one.
Yeah,
Mr.
that's a good
Eddie
one.
Howe's going to be a bit snookered now, isn't he? So
Yeah, same with what's his name, Martinez, the goalkeeper as well. Some people are experts in just milking the ball. And I think it's good because at the end of the day, we're playing against valuable seconds, right? Not only, like, you know, added extra time, but if you're deliberately milking it, like, you know, you should be penalized, definitely.
Yeah.
Do you reckon this is a good rule? Like, we as consumers, you get to see.
Cup. Yeah, it works in the World Cup very well.
I wouldn't want it any other way.
But what if you're 2-1 up? You're Manchester United. You know you have the referee tax against you. All of a sudden, you see 10 extra minutes. You will shit yourself, right?
Yeah, of course, but that's part of the game. As a fan, that's just part of it. You know, you can't
have no nails left. You have no nails left at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like backs to the wall. It's time for it. Well, say this resolute Man United side to start showing in them circumstances as well.
But when it's the other way around, you know, Garnacho's come on, you know, maybe Hojlund's come on, you know, so 10 minutes added on, we're excited. You know, if we're 2-0
down at Liverpool, 1-0 down at Liverpool, we scored 2 at the top end in 10 minutes injury time. Do you know what, Jurgen Klopp? Oh, you have to zip it on that, mate.
So
will be in danger. Klopp will be in danger. Yeah. Can you guys hear me, or are you still hearing echoes? Because I've been very mindful of muting myself the whole stream.
No,
that's why
no echoes at the moment.
It's good.
I'm okay.
It's all good now. So yeah, all sorted. Question for the panel, according to Viking Red here as well. To the two panel, do you think Dion Dublin will have done bits for United leg break?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought he was going to do something.
I grew up in Coventry, so he was always a player kind of that I always had him on my radar. So I always thought, he would have done bits. I think
it was a cruel.
Guys,
it was a cruel,
in that team, he would have done quite well. I think.
I wonder though, but with cancer, we got Cantona in the same season for £1 million. So Dion came back and he won a league title. He won a double. He played a part.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Guys, thank you so much for interacting and sharing your thoughts regarding the new rules, and that's what we're here for. Even the VAR room, you know, how this will affect this season. Good, bad. I think it's 50-50, as I said, depending on what it's for. But we also have to sort of be mindful and talk a little bit about the transfer market. Of course, we covered this changing of rules. We covered of the Glazer takeover, but we got to talk about the transfers and the outs and the potential ins. One thing that I want to touch base upon is the case of Sofyan Amrabat, and just to say to people, relax and calm. He's coming, definitely coming. I believe he's coming, because there's something called pre-agreement, what you already discussed with the agent and the club, and they are fully aware of the situation. I think as soon as they sell Fred or anyone, which is very, very close, they will have to bring in another midfielder to replace, right? And Sofyan Amrabat has rejected all the Saudi clubs. He rejected Liverpool. He only wants Manchester United. So it's just a matter of time. But we got, Hojlund over the line. We're waiting for Amrabat. And what do you guys? Yeah, but what do you guys? What's your thought process of what came out in the reports today that they're thinking to extend Johnny Evans for another year? Let's talk about that one.
Well, I don't know why everyone was in such a hoo-ha about it. It doesn't bother me.
It doesn't bother me either, no.
It's like, what's the harm? Like, there's no real harm. I mean, it's always important to have these senior figures in the squad, because they bring just an element of experience that sometimes the youngsters don't always have around. Because if you look at the senior players we've got at the moment, they've got so many of their own responsibilities that they have to focus on their own careers at United. But sometimes they might not always have enough time for the youngsters. Whereas when you get your Johnny Evans in the dressing room, he doesn't play as much. He's got a bit more spare time, which means he can guide these youngsters a little bit more. So I don't see what the harm would be. I can only see it being a positive.
No, I said my thing on Johnny Evans, and I totally agree that we need experience as well. He's not going to play every game, but at least he's a experienced leader.
You can see a game out. If we need an extra defender, you put him on with 5 minutes to go. Like you say, you shut up shop, and like you say, you get the result. And he can just play that. Like you say, he'll play the last 10, 15 minutes. Like you say, he can do a job. And it's good to have that little key.
Yeah, I was just watching Nerdin's show yesterday. You were calling in there, Jarvis, as well, and they were having a meltdown over there with Johnny Evans and Nura. I was like, so that was a heated debate, But what's your thought process regarding that? Are you agreeing with the panel here is saying?
Yeah, but well, as the fourth or fifth choice centre back, he has experience. He can help us out, as Andy is mentioning in the dying minutes of the game. It will be good to have him on because he has experience, and he could be a vital character in the group because he has won the Premier League. He has a lot of experience, so it's good to have people like him in the squad. The other option, if you don't want to spend money on a centre back, is to take on one of the youngsters like tenhag or some of those. But then again, you don't want to chuck him on in the last 5 minutes of a game. It's better with Johnny Evans. So I'm all in for Johnny Evans. 1 year, that's perfect.
Look what I found.
Oh,
are you ready? We have a new rule for you, Jarvis, if you didn't know. There's a special rule designed just for you. Just came in from a super chat from Alien Tenno. No more stripping, Jarvis. Strip off his captaincy. Is that what you mean? Yeah, no, fair enough, people. Fair enough. Listen, I think I'm relaxed because I think we've done majority of our business right now. It's just we know I think it's been the most relaxing transfer market so far. We are not pretty done. I'm having a sneaky feeling we're not done yet. But at least the main targets like the midfielder, the striker, the goalkeeper, the striker, midfielder, and then another midfielder, right? And potentially a Honka Kane. I don't know what's going on there. Or
one more tie off the top.
One more tie.
You don't know what it is. Would it be that retro classic figure, or is it that star-studded sports car you want? You don't know. There could be, let's say, one more in the pipeline.
Yeah, guys, what do you reckon? Will there be more incoming, or is it more? For me, it's more of the outgoings right now. Focus on the outgoings right now. Jimmy, you're mute.
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, I can't see it anymore just because I think because Kobbie Mainoo's injury looks like it's not as bad as it was first thought. So I think he'll be back in the fold much earlier than
But
anticipated.
Amrabat is a priority still. It's still a priority.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying I think with the Amrabat signing, I think that will be the last signing. I can't see how they would sanction anymore. You've still got, Garnacho is in the fold in the squad, and I think the squad is looking. I wouldn't say full enough, but I think it's looking. He'd be comfortable starting with this squad and seeing how it goes in January. I think.
Yeah.
I don't think
Okay.
he'll push for any more. If it happens, it happens organically, but I don't think he'll be pushing for any more signings.
Okay, guys, before we continue to Jarvis, don't forget to like the like button. We forgot about that. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Press that, smash that like button. Let's get it up to 100 likes, please. That really helps the algorithm and this community. But I want to go over to Jarvis. Jarvis, if we just get one more signing, and that would be Amrabat, how happy would you be with this transfer window?
It all depends who's out. If we get to sell Harry Maguire, I'm super happy. But if it stays, I'm not. To be honest, I don't like Harry Maguire as a player. I don't know him personally. Probably a great guy, but as a player, I don't trust him on the field, and I don't want him to come on and play for us.
Oh no.
That's it. But when it comes to last minute signings, we never know. We could have injuries on vital players in the last couple of games before the season starts. So of course there's money if needed, and I have always had the suspicion that we will sign Harry Kane. So give it the last couple of days, and we will just slap on the credit card. Ching ching.
Oh, no, you found
100
80 million
million.
down the
Harry
back
Kane
of
is
the
ours.
sofa. Found 80 million down the back of the sofa there. That's what I mean.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Oh, mute again, Mick.
You're mute. You're mute.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's better.
No, you're mute.
Why does it
Not
keep
me.
muting?
I just got this Stream Deck. You know what the Stream Deck is? First time I use it.
Maybe that's what it is.
That's what it is. I don't know. Anyway, I'm happy with this window, but it's just Harry Maguire. Again, when we played Borussia Dortmund when he was on, he was still nervous, and you can see that he doesn't really fit with Onana, and that was my fear, because Onana can ping your balls, he can play football, he can play ball, and he's just hot potato.
Yeah, I mean, look how happy Martinez was having Onana. He looked so happy. He looked like he was so comfortable playing football out from the back. He was so relaxed with Onana in that goal.
But still, the knives came out straight away. Haters came out straight away, criticizing. Look, guys, relax. You see how we played football with Onana. There was how many first half, second half? It's an adaptation period. But those to play with Onana understand. How many balls did he actually hit on Rashford, and he found the targets. You know what I mean? It's going to be lethal, right? But do expect to be a little bit. He's not a fucking superhuman, even if you let one goal in, nobody's a superhuman. You're not bulletproof, right?
He's good. Yeah. He's going to be a very, very important.
Yeah. So people, thank you for coming in. Jay, thank you. Just came in to say later the party was on the 1958 space. Absolutely fascinating.
I'm going to finish it off. I'm going to listen to it again.
Is it recorded? I would have been there as well, but is it recorded?
Message him, see what they say, because it could be there. It could be on this. I don't know. Have they got a website? I know it was on the Twitter feed, so it was a good hour to listen to before they came on here, and it was quite interesting and fascinating.
Fantastic. So I think we had a fantastic show. We discussed about a lot of critical issues. We talked about the takeover issue. We talked about the transfers. We're not done yet, but I'm happy with the first choice targets that we are getting. That's my opinion, right? And now we are shaping the future, right? I'm just fascinated to see how people are slating our signings because they are scared, right? When it comes from rivals and pundits and stuff like that. Similar when we signed Martinez, people say, "Oh, he's 175. He's not a modern centre back. He's a centre defender midfielder." Like,
He's a
look
bit
what he
small, like that. He was a certain.
did.
I'm from Liverpool. He's
Back in the days when I played football,
too
he
small.
was there.
Out, like, you know,
When I
defenders
back in the days.
I don't think he fits Man United. Don't think at all. Sorry about
Get
that.
the ball there, Andy. There.
And just for the record, he was good in the end, but I say I'm justified in what I say.
Amazing Scouse accents, guys. Amazing Scouse accents.
Thank you, Uncle Jimmy. I treasure that.
I couldn't even do it. Fucking.
Calm down, like.
You can do that all quite well. That was perfect, actually.
Liverpool's only 45 minutes from my house, like. Down the East Lancs, like.
Yeah, but that's so fascinating for me. Like Manchester and Liverpool is 45 kilometers away. But how can the accent be so different?
Because Scouse is like a whole. Liverpool's like a different country, mate. It is.
Hey mates, could you tell me the way to where to go? Because I'm lost there, you know.
Honestly, it's like I work there once every month, and I'm telling you, so hold it.
Yeah. Simon Heron said, "Mick is Scottish. How do you know? Great shot, you'll let you be on for tea." You want some jelly beans?
Yeah.
Excuse me, mate. Could you tell me the way to the nearest toilet? Oh, Manchester's that way. That's what they say. Or vice versa.
And they all make these. They all make these jokes. If they know you're not from there, they'll make these jokes, and it's like what the last 10 people I've bumped into have said exactly the same joke. It's not funny.
Where are you from?
Oh, listen. Every time I met Liverpool people, it's just like they are mental. They're delusional. I know, especially when they drink. They can't handle the liquor either. Like, you know, Jesus Christ.
No. They can, because by the time you've met them, trust me, they've had about 20 tons of everything in the world.
Mate, when I used to live in Dubai, right, I see the bouncers just literally carrying out women like this on the shoulders, passing out, pissing the pants. I'm from Liverpool. I can drink. Yeah, right.
I do remember a famous Scouse clip I seen in the 90s. It was on a police drama show. Joe, when he recorded, they arrested somebody in Liverpool. You're arrested for murder, and you hear the criminal. What's the murder? What's the murder? I can still go on YouTube. I can still remember. What's the murder?
Speaking about accents as well, Geordies as well. I kind of find it hard to understand as well.
Well, Geordies, Newcastle guys.
Yeah.
That's another.
Man. Don't understand it, like, you know. Don't understand it, like.
Yeah, for me, it sounded like the Jamaicans in a way. You know what I mean? It's like, are they English or they speaking?
I can see why you're saying that. Actually, I can see why you're saying that. But yeah, again, that's a very, very strong accent. Very, very strong.
It is thick, guys. I think we covered everything. I'm concerned about time. It's been 1 hour and 50 minutes. We compensate an extra time because you, Jimmy, were late, so we added on more time according to the new FA rules, just for your reference. So we're playing against the rules, right?
I'll make sure I don't roll around on the ground too much next time.
Rolling. Yeah, brilliant. Listen, we are playing when we're playing now on what is the weekend or Saturday?
Lens 12:45. We're playing Sunday against Bilbao.
Do you think that Hojlund would start?
Now, apparently, they are going to unveil him. They're not going to play him. They're going to try and subdue the crowd. Do you remember when they brought out Casemiro and all the protests were there last year? It'll be along them same lines. You know, how do you quell an angry mob? You know what I mean?
Guys, this story will not go away regarding Chewy. This is the third, fourth time this window I see it. Do you think this got legs? I mean, apparently we have good relationship in negotiation with Real Madrid. No chance.
Real Madrid have just managed to get a complete midfield. Why the hell would they sell one of the youngest, most promising midfielders there is in Europe? For what? They don't need the money.
For who?
They
for who?
Make sure they can keep this. No, it's not happening.
You know for who? to make way for Mbappe?
Nah.
Nah. They have a good midfield. I don't know. Yeah.
Real Madrid, look, you know, if you look at Real Madrid, even when they sign Galacticos, they'll sign Galacticos that they need in the team. They don't just sign Galacticos for the sake.
Oh
of
yeah.
it.
You know, Box is saying more chance of us signing Mick Ruby. Yeah, offer me a couple of Snickers and I play for free for Manchester United. I actually come to play for free.
There you
know,
go.
if I got offered a contract to play for United, I'd play for free. That's how passionate I am.
Greg's state.
No, I wouldn't. Yeah. As long as I get to lean on the Mickey Phelan wall, you know, get free lunch at the canteen. Happy. Listen, guys, we are back tomorrow. Since we are now officially back, you know, Jarvis is back.
Yep. Can you imagine you coming up to the training with your Prius and everybody driving like Ferraris and Porsches and Bentleys?
What's wrong with Prius?
With your little Prius.
I'll be coming in on my mountain bike. I'll be coming in on my mountain bike.
Oh yeah. What's wrong with Prius? Oh, can you imagine Jarvis coming up with his hands-free Tesla? Like, you know, there's like smoke coming out, like, you know.
3 minutes late, doing 200 kilometers.
Sorry, boss. I was brushing my teeth while the car was driving, putting my makeup on. Now I'm ready. Self-driving. Brilliant. Listen, Jimmy, always good to see you. We apologize for not making a Monday show because Jarvis was in the air.
That's right. He's a traveling man. He's a traveling man.
Yeah, I had to take some time off to fix some administration stuff. Got my to-do list almost down to zero. Working, finalizing the Martinez video. It's going to be a very, very good Martinez video. Exclusive interviews and stuff like that, but telling his whole life story, that's what's going to be very different. His background, everything like that, cultural stuff. You will understand why he's a warrior and why they call him the butcher as well. So I'm working on that, guys. So tomorrow, by the way, breaking news, breaking wind at 2 p.m. UK. I'm having Alice back on, living next door. Alice Abrams tomorrow. Me and Alice are talking footy. We're going to talk about the takeover, and and then we don't really know what else because Jarvis just back, and we're going to plan some more shows. Right now, he's hungry for more.
Yes, I'm hungry for more. Give me more.
Tell me more. Tell me more. Listen, we were a little bit rusty today. People apologize for the echoes and everything. I hope you're fed and happy. I'm absolutely satisfied. You guys been amazing today, guys. Thank you for contributing. And VR Room. Good night, Lisa, as well. Good night, Lisa Jensen. Everyone is going to sleep. Mark Goldbridge, thank you for watching.
What?
Talk to you later. No, I'm just joking. I got you there.
Hey, man, yo, I don't socialize with him.
Yeah, no. Also, what a great show from Lisa as well was saying. I want to say good night to everyone. Also to say very good thank you for Siegfried for your contribution with your super chat, €5. You know, also for John O'Neill, for Alien Tenno, for all of your donations. Thank you to your wife's credit card as well. You know what I mean? Jokes aside, but really, all these contributions makes a difference. So yeah, you know. I do want to read out as many as I can, but as show goes on, we need to talk and produce the content. So big up to all of you, Manel Patel, United Red, for providing these Keegan stories and stuff like that. Box, Jay, thank you. Everyone, and all the moderators as well. Edward Reed, Alien Tenno. There's so many of you that want to say thank you, right? We missed one person today, and that's John Ball, like one of the ballers. Like he was, I didn't see him in the house. But personally, I want to thank to everyone that's been part of this channel, part of moderating. You know who you are. Peace, love, and banana. We are on the road to 16K. And this is surreal, guys, because on the day of the birthday of this channel, which was the 14th of July, we were 15,000 subs. And now we are grown 900 in 3 weeks, 4 weeks time. So it's constantly 1,000 per month. So big up to all of you. Thank you. Jarvis,
yes,
bless you. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, is that it, or do we have anything more to say, Jarvis?
Yeah, somebody asked me what's the national food of Norway. Norway's famous food dish, and it is lutefisk.
Oh, that one. Oh, stay away, people. Stay away. Ooh. You know what that is?
Sounds like
You know,
aftershave in England.
that is the worst shit I ever tasted in my whole life, right? It's basically dried. You catch the fish, you dry it, right? So when you pick it up, it's like a wooden plank, right, Jarvis? So what you do is you put it in salt water, right? And you let it stand for 48 hours for it to soften up and swell. Shite.
Yeah.
You see, I'm African, so that all sounds right up my street. That all sounds like I would.
You should try the Swedish surströmming, which is
more
sour.
than happy with that, if you ask me.
In Sweden, they have this delicacy called, surströmming, which is sour herring, right? So it's basically rotten fish. So when you open the can, you surely don't want to be close to that can. People run away. They do that surströmming challenge. Just Google it. You will laugh your pants
We got
off.
fish and chips. That's what we got.
What's it called? What's that called?
Surströmming. Sauerströmming.
SURSTR. Yeah, I write it.
Write it down. Yeah, Google it. Write it in the chat so everyone can look at it, because there's funny video clips where you have Japanese hardcore people. Everyone's doing the surströmming challenge, and you can just see the whole cameras flying up in the air. Everyone is running away as soon as they open the can. It's disgusting. It's like a stink bomb, right? Did you write it in the chat, Jarvis?
Yes.
Oh, there you go. Surströmming, yeah, challenge. Surströmming.
I'm googling it.
Steak
now.
fläsk i Danmark. Ja, det är gott. Yeah.
See, again, that sounds like something that we would have in where I come from. So I would be trying that. Definitely.
Yeah, Google this surströmming challenge and you will understand, guys. Surströmming challenge. It's a sour herring challenge.
No, but basically. some people run away from Thai fish sauce.
Oh, batis.
And people will run away from that. They say it stinks.
I know. Batis, yeah, but it's not. This is worse. This is 100% worse. Now in Denmark, they have. Lise is also saying they have stekt fläsk. That means fried bacon or fried pork. Oh yeah, bacon, right? Fläsk. A Danish steak is the most likely with the crispy skin. Oh, I'm sorry if you're a vegan or a vegetarian, but I like meat anyway. So big up for all of you guys. It's time to close the shop,
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I always come with analogies according to Dwayne Blackwood. Yeah, I do. I like analogies. That's my thing. Battered cod fish piece curry sauce. Yo,
yes.
Yeah, now I'm getting hungry. Anyway, guys, thank you so much.
There was a disturbance in the force then in my stomach. That's just made me, yeah, don't think about food. Go to bed with a cup of tea instead.
Yeah. Get the munchies. Guys, brilliant. Thank you so much. It's time to close the VR shop. It's time to close the stream. We're heading up to 2 hours. It's a marathon stream. We went a little bit over, almost an hour over what was planned, but big up for all of you. Jimmy, thank you for coming on again. See you Monday.
Cheers for having me. Thanks for having
Boss,
me.
See you Monday. Andy, if I don't speak to you earlier, see you next week as well. But obviously, we're going to speak over WhatsApp as well. So, yeah, big up. Have a good game experience, my friend, as well.
Yeah, I'm taking my old man Saturday's his first game back at Old Trafford this season.
Yeah, you told us.
Yeah, he's giving me a lift there. He's giving me a lift back. I'm doing the Stretford paddock as well. So I'm working night shift. I'm going to be a busy boy next 3 days.
Yeah, but at least you're getting in the game time. What's your score prediction? Or we're bound to win now.
Well, beat Lens about 2-0, 2-1. You got, you got to have a homecoming win, haven't you? Then we've got Atletico Bilbao.
And do you think it will be an introduction revealing of Rasmus Hojlund on that day, like they did with Varane? Walk him in.
I expect it. He'll come out onto the pitch, and they'll try to, if there's any protests, they will try to quell it with here's a new toy.
Yeah.
Don't work like that, mate. Everyone's wise to you now. Your days are numbered.
Brilliant. Peter, Ali, and Tenno saying, see you at Old Trafford, Andy. Well, you're lucky, guys. You're lucky. I want to come to Old Trafford as well this season. I want to go and see a game. But unfortunately,
let us know when you're coming up. Let us know. I'm going to try and do as many home games as possible.
yeah, I want to come. And let's say
let us know.
August, September, then end of October, I'm off to Thailand, like, as per usual, like, escaping the winter. So yeah, so do want to catch a game before I go at least. But brilliant, guys. Thank you so much for providing this analogy,
Cheers.
Energy. Thank you, Andy. Thank you again, Jarvis. We had our say, man, and it's back to give you back your night or day. But Jarvis, I'll let you finish off with the final famous words.
Yeah, peace, love, and go bananas, eller onana.
Yeah, peace, love, and onana. Guys, thank you, beautiful. Guys, you can follow all these beautiful people here. You have Uncle Jimmy's there, Twitter, at JStarCity, right?
Yeah, at JStarCity.
Follow him. If he's on Spaces, listen to him. This guy speaks positive football. He's my brother from another brother. Andy TV. Andy, you like to hide yourself on Twitter, but you do have a Twitter profile, right?
Yeah, I am like a ninja. I am there, but I'm not there. So
he's there.
I don't need the personal abuse, but I always view content online.
I would do like a Jimmy Kane. He's there. Brilliant, guys. Thank you. Good night. See you later. Bye for now. Cheers. That's all, folks.
Cheers.
That's all, folks.
Thank you so much for stopping by and watching MUFC Realist TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on the socials.